And welcome, everybody. It's time for your Friday Nooner, back after a mini vacation. And I'll talk a little bit about that after we hear from my guest, because I realized that rather than just me going on about random topics, which was the original plan, I thought, you know what? I have a spy, somebody who is embedded in the Olympic trials in one of my favorite cities in Omaha, Nebraska, my wife. So here is the CEO of the American Swim. Hello there.
Hi.
Okay, good. This is all working. You're on your phone, or did you take a laptop?
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay, good. That everything sounds terrific. I've never been sure about phones, so obviously you are in the arena,
Right.
the Chi Health Center. So, who's some of the big names that are going to be on today and then later tonight?
Well, it's interesting because right over my shoulder, probably in about 2 heats, is going to be Caleb Dressel, which is going to be exciting. He won the 100 free last night, so he's swimming well. And we actually just saw the prelim swim of Katie Ledecky in the 800 free. And of course, she, I think, went a top 10 time ever in history in a prelim swim this morning. So she is absolutely amazing, and it's just incredible to see her swim. She dominates from the very first 50 and then swims an entire 800 and is like close to the world record. So it's just incredible.
What is it? You mentioned her, and I wanted to get into that with you, but let me ask, and for those who don't know, not only is, of course, my wife the president of the Swim Coach Association, she was an All-American at USC, so she knows when she talks about swimming. Why is she so good? I mean, because I see the races, and she's here, and everybody else is over here. I've never quite seen anything like that.
I wish I knew, because that's the event I swam, and if I knew what made her so fast, I would have been a lot faster. But I don't know. I feel like some people just have that talent, and I think she is one of those rare people that has an amazing amount of talent and works an amazing amount. So and then has the mental part of it as well, and she is the whole package, and that's what it takes to be at the level she's at.
Another big name that I believe he's going tonight to try to make the Olympic team and become the oldest man to do so is Ryan Lochte. How has he looked so far?
He's looked pretty good. He hasn't looked. I have to be careful when they do the start. I have to quiet down. He hasn't been spectacular. His parents and his whole family are sitting right here. I've been sitting in this box here, and they're sitting right in front of me. He has a huge cheering section. Very friendly people, very cool. His dad came by last night, walked by me and said, "Not bad for an old man, huh?"
So I try to tell you all the time. But
so that was fun. Yeah, and of course, also sitting here for the 100 fly is Zach Harding's parents again, which if any of you follow me on Facebook, you saw that I posted that it was so emotional. His parents came to sit here to watch his race in the 200 fly, and he won. And the story is amazing because I was talking to his parents before he swam. They were, of course, very nervous, but then they told me, the dad says, "Oh, I just had a kidney transplant, and my wife donated the kidney to me." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then his sisters are here too. And then he swam, and they were screaming and yelling. We all were the whole race. It was so close. He was behind with the last turning into the last 50, and he came back and won the race. And oh my God, tears everywhere. So exciting. So they're actually here right now to watch his heat of the 100 fly, see how he does in the 100 fly.
Yeah, do you have any idea how good he is in the 100? Does he have a shot here?
I think he's in Caleb Dressel's heat, and he's in a middle lane. So okay. Yes, he definitely has a shot.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, the middle lane is the preferred place to be.
Yes,
if you're on the edges, it's sort of seated, and you earn your way into that. So for those who may just not be aware of that, anybody else that's jumped out that has either been a real big wow, or maybe even a disappointment?
Well, I think we all know, unfortunately, that Simone Manuel's 100 free yesterday was a disappointment. My heart broke for her. Her family is here in front of us too. They were here yesterday, and that's the part about sports. One family's jumping up and down cheering, the other family is sad and walking away with their heads down. She, of course, has nothing to keep her head down about for her career. I feel like this extra year probably wasn't didn't work in her favor. And I felt horrible for her. But she does still have the 50. So hopefully she can pull it together and make the team on the 50. I really hope she does.
Well, just before we hooked up here, Pat Forty, whose daughter, of course, Brooke, is at the trials.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she keeps running into Katie Ledecky, which is
Yeah.
a bad, that's just the way it goes. But Pat also been writing some articles not about his daughter, and he just wrote something that you might want to find on his Twitter about Simone Manuel. And she basically just opened up and said, "I've overtrained. I've got nothing left."
I saw that.
Yeah. And is there something to that? Is that possible? Because I imagine to the layman who heard that, they go, "How can you overtrain?" I mean, do you buy into that theory?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like a lot was learned during this pandemic time because a lot of swimmers couldn't train as hard. I guess she found a pool and was able to train. What they're finding is the swimmers that didn't train as hard are actually doing better, which is interesting. But if you train really hard and then you don't taper enough right at the end and rest enough and you come into a meet and you're tired or you've been training too hard, you will not swim well. So it sounds like that's what happened to her, and I feel badly for her because this is her shot for the Olympics, and that's the way it works. Like you gotta do the right thing at the right time, at the right moment.
Well, what kind of a chance do you give her in the 50 then? I mean, I would have to think her issue's more psychological than physical at this point.
It's hard to tell. It really is. If she has the speed, she'll do better in the 50. If it's if it's the endurance that she was missing, then the 100 is a little longer, so she would do worse in that. So hopefully she's got her speed down, and it was really just finishing that last 50 that was the problem in the 100, and then hopefully she'll do well in the 50. They take the top 6
sometime
finishers,
this weekend,
for the relay. So hopefully she'll make it.
Okay. That's right. So she could still make the team just in a relay, not as an individual member.
Right. Exactly.
Tell everybody for a sec, did you ever get the tour of the pool?
I did. I got the tour yesterday.
Explain that to the people who may be wondering how in the hell they built a swimming pool inside a basketball arena.
Well, I certainly can't explain how they did it, but it is truly amazing. I mean, you look at this pool, and how you can tell it's built up is that the big scoreboard there in the middle is much lower to the pool than it would be to the floor of if it were a basketball setup, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell that the pool is way higher up, built on the floor of the basketball arena. What's also interesting is besides this, if you go where the swimmers leave and go underneath, there's another one of these and a 25-meter pool, which is the warm down and warm up pool. So not only this pool, but another one just like it.
Yeah, they're just about to hang on. I know I can see them behind you. So
hold on. I think this is. Let me see. No, this is the second to last heat. I do believe the last heat's going to have Caleb Dressel and Zach Harding.
Okay. Well, we may watch. Might as well just stick around and watch it live. Yeah. So, what did you learn about the construction?
Another amazing swim, by the way. You asked me who I was impressed with. Michael Andrew, who won the 100 back and also swam the 100 breast. And then yesterday swam the 200 IM and looked amazing in the semifinals. So he'll swim, I believe that tonight will be his finals for the 200 IM. And, it's really rare for someone to be good in backstroke and breaststroke to the point where they're, up there in both events. So that makes him an IMer. And he was ahead of the world record pace at the third turn. It's a 4-lap race. Coming into the freestyle, he fell back and didn't get it, but this place was going crazy, thinking he was on world record pace, but that was only the semis. So stay tuned, the finals. Maybe he can do it. Yeah, he's had a great meet.
And what is behind you? What's the event?
It's a 100 fly.
100 fly, so it won't be long.
Right, they just no. We had the 800 heats earlier this morning. That's a lot longer.
That's long. Yes, that's long.
Yeah.
The 50s are hilarious because don't get up during the 50s. Yeah, because literally it's over before you realize it. So now the pool, the interesting thing, and you were talking about it before you left and to go to Omaha, is what happens to the pool once this is over with.
Yeah, so they build it up like 2 weeks ahead of this. They build this entire pool and the other pool, like talked about. And then after the meet, they break it all down, and both pools are donated to a club somewhere in the United States.
I think it's Ocala this year, believe it or not.
Yes,
Yeah,
I heard
someplace.
one of the pools was going to Ocala.
Yeah, for those of you who are outside the state of Florida, Ocala is just a little bit south of Gainesville, the University of Florida, where the Gators certainly have done very well. I know some prominent UF folks have done well in these trials, and it
Okay,
looks
here we
like
go.
for Caleb Dressel. So where will he be? 4 or 5?
So Caleb Dressel is in lane 4. Zach Harding is in lane 6.
I wonder if we're violating some sort of international copyright law right about now by doing this.
Confiscate my phone here any second.
That's right, in any moment. So
trying
maybe
to stay out of the picture.
Well, I would just say, since we can't see who's who,
You
could
really
just tell
see?
us. You could just
All
tell us. No, I just know they're bodies to
I
me.
can flip my camera.
No, don't worry. You know what? We probably are breaking some kind of a rule. So just tell me how who won.
Okay.
That you can get away with. I just got a funny feeling. Not that it's going to make much difference in the broadcast world if I get shut down, but just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, and this is Zach Harding's parents that you see right here in the yellow shirt, and that's his dad next to the.
Okay.
That's his mom and dad.
Yellow and blue there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll know how he's doing based on watching them.
Yes, exactly.
As much as anything else. So I know you have to lay out a little bit here while this happens. So. I'm actually enjoying watching the parents.
Because 3 swimmers scratched out of this heat. I'm not sure why, but 3 swimmers are missing here. So.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you this while we're waiting for the result, because that was one of the things I'm going to talk about during the show is what travel was like for me. What's it like over there where you are regarding mask wearing and everything else in the arena and around the city?
Yeah, I mean, you can see I'm not wearing a mask. They're not requiring masks in the arena. All right, here we go. Caleb Dressel is way ahead.
Okay, so that's not a big surprise.
I don't know if you can see that, but.
No, but I let's do it this way. If you've given me that as an option, that's what I would have voted for.
Okay, Caleb Dressel won a 50.17. That's a really great swim. Zach Harding got second.
Okay, mom looks happy. Their parents are applauding. That's good.
So those are both good times.
Now, are we talking about this is more of a game of beat the clock, right? Not necessarily beat the people.
They're very happy. All right, Zach Harding's going to go in as the 6th seed.
Okay, so he'll be right 60. Okay.
He'll be in lane 2.
And that's all going to be tonight, right?
That'll be tonight.
And I believe
the semis will be tonight.
Okay.
The semis will be tonight, and finals will be tomorrow.
I want to say 9 o'clock tonight Eastern on NBC. Right after I think what they did, because I was flying home yesterday and trying to watch, and they just kept running golf. So I think the golf ends at 9 Eastern, and then I know they've got an hour of swimming ahead. So they'll stack. Yeah. Is Katie Ledecky swimming tonight? Because that's when she'll be on, is between 9 and 10. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're right by the entrance.
So that's where they walk down to the warm-up pool.
Okay.
Here, I don't know if you can see this, but that's where they do the interviews.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Michelle
Very nice.
Grabs them there and does the interviews. Yeah.
It's a nice building. I went to a basketball game there once a few years ago. It's a very nice facility.
It really is. It's just amazing. Yeah. And so when I took the tour, what's also amazing is all the pumps. Like it's a full, you can imagine what kind of pumps it takes for pools like this. So they've got all that they build up as part of this, all underneath here. And then they've got all the way around. They've got all the ready rooms and the locker rooms and the media rooms, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're switching over to the women's 200 back, which, by the way, the daughter of the Pinecrest swim coach is going to be in Heat 3 of the 200 back today.
No way. Oh, that's terrific.
So we're going to watch for her.
All right. Yeah. I assume he's there.
Yep, he's here, and we'll be cheering for her. She's not in a seeded heat, which is one of the last 3, so it would be a long shot for her. But if she makes it, it would be amazing. If she makes it to the finals. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you go because I know you've got other things you have to take care of with your responsibilities. But it's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's been a
And
while. It's been a
yes,
week.
it has actually. But no, I really do appreciate taking the time, and especially since I didn't think of this till about an hour and a half ago. And I'm wait a minute, why am
Yeah,
I going to do this by myself? That's
perfect
dumb. Yeah,
during the meet here. Yeah.
exactly. So, and I know you're in a spot. I don't want you to get busted. So,
Okay.
thanks. Enjoy the rest of it, and we'll certainly be watching tonight.
All right.
All right.
Great.
See you
Thanks.
later. All right.
Bye.
Bye. So there you go. Jennifer LaMont, my wife, and 26 years, and also the CEO of the American Swim Coaches Association. Live in Omaha. I had to be careful there. I was not going to try to break any rules with NBC or anybody else. So let me go back to just to hit on a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about. I did travel. I did go to Vegas again because I'm addicted. And with her there, I'm not going to sit here at home, although I like my house. I'm going to go someplace, and I didn't want to, get in her way in Omaha, although I do truly love the city of Omaha, thanks to my College World Series days, which is now too painful to watch. That's another story for a therapist. But the trip to Vegas was a lot of fun, and Vegas is loosening up. If you are vaccinated, you are on the honor system as far as going places. Once I checked into my hotel and I came in with a mask on, and the lady, a young woman who checked me in, had a mask on, and I said, "What's the policy?" She goes, "Well, it's kind of up to you." Okay. I took it off because I'm vaccinated, and I would say 95% of the people that I was around were not wearing masks. The airport experience is still masked up. So if you're flying anytime soon, the airlines don't look like they're retiring the mask requirements. And in case you're not sure, they'll remind you many times. Now, I'm happy to say that with all the goofiness in the skies lately and the violence and the anger, I didn't run into any of that on any of my flights. So I'm very grateful about that. The city is definitely bouncing back. I mean, I was there Monday through yesterday, and I deliberately avoided the weekend, but I think Vegas is going to be just fine. People want to have a good time. And in my book, that's one of the places you go. And I certainly had enjoyed my time there. The restaurants are back at normal capacity instead of the 50% capacity than when I was there in March for the NCAA tournament. It was the whole attitude is different. It's just now 115 degrees will keep you inside, but I'm just saying that if Vegas is on your list of places you're interested in going, whether to visit for the first time or you're going to go back, it's open. It is open for business, and not everything is 100% yet, and there are some businesses naturally that have closed, but there's a new hotel about to open next week. That's Resorts World Hotel, the Virgin Hotel, which took over the old Hard Rock. It's open. Everything is working its way back, which I'm happy about. I mean, that's good for, I would think you'd want the country to succeed and to bounce back, regardless of where you sit politically. And so this, to me, was a good sign. Here at home in Florida, it's still a largely, I guess it depends on what part of the state you're in. Florida being about 5 states in one. Where I'm at, it's still fairly serious regarding masks, although not required. The grocery stores are saying, hey, if you're vaccinated, now you're on the honor system. We all realize there are some folks who will, fudge on the old honor system. But, it was fun. It was a good time. But just understand when you travel in the airport, masks. Inside the plane, masks. Notice I don't say on the plane because I'm not sitting on the plane. I'm sitting in the plane. Got it? Good. So there you go. You notice that Naomi Osaka, no Wimbledon. So she's clearly not ready to face that yet. There were some reports that she was having some conversations, possibly with how to deal with the media. Whatever came out of that, no Osaka. So the tournament suffers. Nadal has pulled out. That's bad. So Wimbledon's lost 2 major stars. Nadal says he's just beat up. He pulled out of the Olympics as well. There's been talk about the NBA and the number of injuries to star players at a tough time of the year in the playoffs. And LeBron James said, hey, we shouldn't have played. I said start the season later. Okay. Well, you can't do anything about it. Is it because these guys are beat up? Probably. There wasn't enough downtime. I agree with him there. There was not enough downtime. However, you have to beat the Olympics. You have to finish before the Olympics to let guys start to get ready for that. And I don't know how the American Olympic team is going to be, other than some guys who probably beat the hell out, beat to death. And I don't know if it's the honor that we might have thought of it was starting when the Dream Team came around in '92, or the honor than it was before then in the 60s and 70s. And then, of course, it went to hell for a little while there until we put pros in the games. So, yes, the NBA should have started later. I agree. It's a difficult line to draw because you're trying to bounce back. You want the money made back. Yes, we're America. Money drives everything. We're capitalists, and we're proud of it. I'm a capitalist. But can you do both? I don't know if you can, coming off of a pandemic. So I don't think it's too easy. It's too much like low-hanging fruit to pick on the NBA and go, yeah, come on, you guys. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's just, nah, not buying it. You know what else I'm not buying? I'm missing something. I'm clearly missing something. Just had an interesting Facebook debate with a buddy of mine about how unwatchable he believes baseball is. And while I'm not that far anti-baseball, I am utterly confused about this situation regarding substances on baseballs. It's always been illegal to doctor a baseball. Now, it's always been done going back decades. Guys like the late Whitey Ford was known to use a ring, or to have Yogi Berra use a shin guard. We've had the scuffing with Mike Scott. We've had Gaylord Perry with the spitballs and God knows what else he would have under his cap. And we've had guys try to take files to baseballs, whatever. It's always gone on. Well, now it got to a point where pitchers were so dependent on this stuff recently, and it was an open secret, that Major League Baseball has said, no, we're going back to the old way. You can't do that anymore. And immediately guys are starting to get hurt. Tyler Glasnow of the Tampa Bay Rays, the most obvious one, a really, really good pitcher. And people are like, and he's saying, hey, I got hurt because I have to throw the baseball normally. I'm thinking, have you always? Like when you were a kid, when you were in high school, did you doctor the ball? I don't understand. What am I missing? That this is affecting pitching so much. It's so many pitchers are upset. I'm okay with the old rule of listen, you're not supposed to doctor your bat either, although that's happened. And ideally, you're not supposed to doctor your body either, but that's happened. Baseball has had more cheating than I think that any other sport I can name. In football, you had it, with the Raiders, especially in the 70s, they'd come out with the tape job and have the referee inspect it, then they'd add plaster or something in their casts. They were notorious. It might have been Gene Upshaw that had the fake thumb. He hit a guy in the throat with some kind of, fake thumb that wasn't really his, and he could disable a guy temporarily to block him. You had all these things that were going on. Not, the Patriots with the filming, but not the deflated football thing. That's the dumbest thing in history. You do understand that's the dumbest thing in history. Okay, good. But they were videotaping people. That was not, So football's had a share of cheating. Basketball, it's kind of hard to cheat in basketball. First off, you can't hide in playing in your underwear. It's just more difficult. What happens in basketball is guys will use the rules to their advantage, like Dwayne Wade jumping into a defender to get the foul, even though the offensive player initiates the contact. I need a long explanation from a referee about that. Why, if I'm shooting, why does being on offense exempt me from a foul when I hit you first to try to draw a foul? Oh, I was going straight up. The principle of verticality. Yeah. Forget it. But baseball, yeah, the Astros did their thing, but that stuff's been going on since, maybe not with, texts or watches or trash cans, but it's been going on forever. Sign stealing going on forever. We've all kind of accepted it. Hey, before we ever had roids, we had greenies. We had guys popping pills, amphetamines, pep pills to get through double headers, long seasons. It's always been, baseball's just, now I'm not suggesting that I like it that way, but I'm just telling you that's a fact. So the whole baseball, the thing with the baseball and the doctors and this, I'm at a loss. Are you telling me that you really cannot pitch at a high level in the highest league in the world without some sort of illegal footsing of the ball? I guess we're going to find out. It's next week that Major League Baseball has been told to start, or not, excuse me, has told, not has been told, but has told its umpires, hey, start looking for this crap. And if it happens, it's going to be 10 games with pay, but 10-game suspension. And I guess if you get caught twice, I'm not sure what happens. So I'm really curious, does this mean more offense? Or are we going to finally see guys adjust? I don't know. Someone's got, I need a good, solid explanation from somebody, and I'm just not getting them from hearing people complain about it all the time. So that ought to do it for today. Should be good, right? Yeah, we are good. Certainly want to thank my wife, who probably won't be able to watch the rest of this, for popping by live. You got true team coverage from the CEO of the American Swim Coaches Association. I'm very proud of my wife for that. She is the first woman to ever hold that title. And she's in position at the Omaha, the U.S. Olympic trials, 9 o'clock tonight. She actually has a great seat, but they never show her on TV, which is, come on, NBC, pick it up a little bit. And you get to listen to one of my favorite announcers, Rowdy Gaines. Now, Mike Tirico is a pros pro. And obviously he's prepared to the hilt because that's what Mike does. Rowdy Gaines, to me, is a fabulous example of what an analyst ought to do in any sport. Here's what you got to do. A, are you prepared? Okay, good. By the way, the door is going to open here in a minute, so anything could happen as far as the pets, so I'm just warning you. Are you prepared? Check. Rowdy is prepared. Are you interested and enthusiastic? Double check. Because if you ever listen to him announce, he's into it, man. He is dead on into what he's doing. And as a broadcaster, that matters to me because I like guys who are excited about being there, no matter what their pay stub says, whether they're making $5 million a year or $500 a game. It matters to me as a broadcaster that you, the other broadcaster, the man or the woman that I am listening to, is into what you're doing, and you don't sound bored, and you are prepared, and all the other fundamental facts. Well, I think Rowdy is just awesome. So I always look forward to hearing him during the Olympics and now during the Olympic trials, which I'm obviously paying a little bit more attention to. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So that'll be a lot of fun tonight. 9 o'clock, NBC Eastern Time. I had a terrible time trying to find it out in Vegas. Not the time zone changes, and I tried 6 o'clock thinking I'd catch it, or 5 o'clock, and I'd get the 5 o'clock news, and then I'd try later. I just couldn't get it right. Now that I'm home, I'll try to get it right. So again, I certainly appreciate your watching today. Back at it Monday, and very much look forward to it. So have a wonderful, safe weekend, and I'll talk to you. Hope you enjoyed your Nooner with me.